Chapter 7, Right Triangle Trigonometry. Lesson 7.5, Apply the tangent ratio. So let's draw a large 30-degree angle. And I'm going to draw perpendicular lines every 5 centimeters. So that actually gives me a bunch of different sized triangles. This little triangle, and then a bigger triangle, and a bigger triangle. Let's fill in the table. So if I measure the first little triangle, this vertical here, BC, is about 2.89. And then on the next triangle, this DE, that's about 5.77. And this last one here, FG, is about 8.66. All right, they want us to do opposite over adjacent. So for the first one, 2.89 divided by 5 is 0.578. The next one, 5.77 divided by 10 is 0.577. The last one, 8.66 divided by 15 is 0.577. So these are all about the same. They're all about 0.577. Wow! Why are those ratios all the same? Well, they're all the same because the triangles are similar by a similarity. They all have angle A and they all have the right angle. So since they all have angle A and right angle, the triangles are similar and the sides are proportional. So we're going to use this fact to do some interesting things. The tangent ratio is what we call the ratio that we were just dealing with. And the tangent ratio is the opposite leg over the adjacent leg. So we have some angle that we're talking about. In this case, it's angle A. Then we have the leg opposite and the leg adjacent. Now they're both legs. It's not the hypotenuse. It's the opposite leg and adjacent leg. If we're talking about angle B, they'd be flip-flopped. The blue would be the opposite and the green would be adjacent to angle B. So on this triangle, find tangent of J and tangent of K. So from J, the opposite is 24. The adjacent is 32. So let's remind ourselves, tangent of our angle is the opposite over the adjacent. So tangent, and say tangent, don't say tan. You don't say der for doctor or mer for mister. It's an abbreviation. It's tangent. Tangent of J, and it's always followed by an angle. So it's always tangent and then an angle. Has to have that because you have to know which angle you're talking about. So tangent of J is the opposite, 24, over the adjacent, 32. Wait, I can reduce both of those by 8 to get 3 over 4. How about tangent of K? Again, it's tangent followed by an angle. But wait, now we have different setup. So from K, the opposite is now 32, and the adjacent is now the 24. So it's 4 over 3. How interesting. So the angle matters. So that's why you always have to put the angle. It's always tangent and then an angle. Let's try another one. All right. So tangent of J here. So here's J. Opposite is the 8. And adjacent is the 15. So tangent is opposite over adjacent. And I can't reduce that. Tangent of K. From K, the opposite is 15, and the adjacent is now 8. So opposite over adjacent. So notice, if you change the angle, they're reciprocals of each other. So let's use this and your calculator. Oh, you need a scientific or graphing calculator. Find the value of x and round to the nearest tenth. All right, so here we're given our angle 61. So from the 61, the 22 is the opposite, and the x is the adjacent. So if tangent is the opposite over the adjacent, our angle is 61 degrees, the opposite is 22, the adjacent is x. And we need to solve for x. So if I make this over 1, we have a proportion. We can cross multiply. Of x times tangent of 61 equals 1 times 22. It's x times tangent of 61, so to get rid of the tangent of 61, we'll have to divide. So x is 22 divided by the tangent of 61, which is about 12.2. Let's try another one. Here's my angle. This time, the opposite is x. The adjacent is 13. So if tangent of the angle is the opposite over the adjacent, my angle this time is 56 degrees. The opposite is x, and the adjacent is 13. Put the tangent over 1 and cross multiply. So I get x equals 13 times tangent of 56. Now students often ask, how do I know if I should be multiplying by tangent or dividing by tangent? And my answer is, write out the formula. You say tangent of A equals opposite over adjacent. Fill in the angle. Fill in the opposite and the adjacent. Put the tangent over 1 and cross multiply, and that will show you whether you'll be multiplying or dividing. All right, I typed this in my calculator, and I get 19.3. And that's it for today. Have a good day.